It is almost the holiday season, which means many people are going to be getting a Nintendo Switch console for the very first time. And to those people, they're probably going to want to get a brand new game featuring their favorite flagship plumber, Mario.
Aww.
So whether or not you've never got a Mario game and want to know where to start on Switch, or you've played most of these and just want to hear my opinions, I'm Thomas from the Switch Top, and I'm about to rank every single Mario game on Switch, at least as of 2022. Now, a lot of these games are great, and I'm just going to be ranking them based off personal preference, and I'll make it clear when that's the case, but there are certain games here that are definitely objectively better or worse than others, and that's the important part that I wanted to hammer down today. And that starts off with our first game, the worst game, Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Now, right off the bat, this title is weird because there were no 2020 Olympic Games, because of, well, you know. Secondly, this is one of the few Mario titles on this list that is not actually developed solely by Nintendo, and you can definitely tell. This is the only game on this list I would 100% say do not buy. I do not think there's a single person I'd recommend this to because everything this game does, other games on this list do better. It's not the best Mario sports game, it's not the best Mario Party game, it's not the best, it's just not the best. Moving on to Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, it really pains me to put this as low as I am on the list, but damn, if this wasn't one of the biggest wastes of money I've ever bought. Basically, this game is $100 and it comes with this really cool RC car, and the whole gimmick is that you build Mario Kart courses in your house and then drive around with them on the RC car. Unfortunately, while the tech works decently fine, there are just too many limitations to make this worth $100. On top of that, you can't play multiplayer unless you have 2 Switches and 2 of these units, which I'm assuming no one ever has gotten ever. I would say the very specific use case is if you're a kid who like loves Legos, or you have a kid and you know them and their siblings are always creative, always making stuff, and you want them to play video games but would rather them do stuff that's more like, you know, creative and hands-on than just, you know, playing with the controller. Then I guess get this, but even still, it's $100. I really can't justify the price, which sucks because I've had fun with this, but now it's a glorified desk toy. Moving on to Mario Strikers Battle League, and this is by far the most disappointing one here. When this game came out, I was originally so excited for it, but it's just not all there. I mean, the game is very underbaked, and while it will probably eventually being up as good as the other Mario sports games, as of right now, it's not. And I don't want to rate this game based on future potential updates. I want to rate it as it is, and as it is, it's just not all there. I mean, there's some fun to be had here if you're wanting to play local multiplayer, but even then again, like there's better local multiplayer games later on, and there's better competitive games later on, so I don't really know who this is for. Next up, Super Mario Party. I'm just gonna be honest, I personally despise this game, and I made a whole 30-minute video essay as to why, but sum it all up here, it is just not really a good Mario Party game. There is a better Mario Party game out on the system, so I see zero reason to get this. Next up, we have Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, I've only played Kingdom Battle because as of the time of recording this, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope has not released on the system. It doesn't exist yet. But I'm assuming it's going to be better than the game it's based off all the pre-footage we've seen. And the original game it's based off of was pretty cool. If you like in-depth strategy games, but also want to play a Mario version of that, then I guess this is for you. Personally, I play Mario for the action and not the slow, methodical puzzles, so I personally didn't enjoy it as much, but I can't say that this is an objectively bad game. It's definitely not. Next up, we have Mario Golf Super Rush and Mario Tennis Aces. I'm kind of cheating and putting these at, you know, the same slot. I'd say Tennis Aces is slightly better than Golf Super Rush, but they're both pretty much the same thing. They're a relatively decent entry in the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis franchises respectively, but to be honest, they're a bit lackluster in stuff to do. Both of them have a single player mode, a whole like campaign actually, that I don't really think is that good for either one. They both have a fair amount of different modes, online capability. I mean, there's a fair amount of stuff to do here if you enjoy the core gameplay loop. I just don't think those loops are super engaging for either game. If you made it this far into the list, hit the subscribe button. This is your one-stop shop for all your Nintendo Switch content, and we got lots more videos on the way. Next up, we have Paper Mario and the Origami King. I'd say this is definitely the best Mario RPG on the system. This game is really, really funny, and even if you don't like the turn-based kind of rotate the arena around style of puzzle here, you'll find fun stuff to do within the overworld because it's just chock full of charm. This marks kind of the midpoint of our list in the sense that like every game, including this one on, is an insanely high quality title and you wouldn't go wrong picking it up. Next up, we have another cheating thing. It's Mario Maker 2 and New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Now I'm cheating here because both of these are 2D Marios, and in fact if you pick the right Mario Maker 2 level, they look almost identical. However, there's 2 key differences which I'll go over here. Super Mario Maker 2 is a level creator. You make your own Mario levels and then play them, and you can also also download levels that other people have made. Whereas New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is a full campaign that is made by Nintendo, not bound to the restraints of some level editor that they have to make user-friendly for people who buy the game. Therefore, if you're a creative type, love 2D Mario levels, want to play really hard Kaizo levels, or something like that, definitely get Mario Maker 2. That game does have its own campaign, so it's not like you'll be completely out of content if for some reason you don't want to play any of the user-generated levels. But if you're just looking for a Mario game to play, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is the objectively better option. You don't have to search for all the really good levels, you know they're going to be balanced perfectly well, and on top of that, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is essentially 2 games in one, as New Super Luigi U is basically the sequel to that game. It's an incredibly overlooked campaign that I see literally no one talk about, even though I'm going to be honest, if that counts as its own New Super Mario Bros. Game, it's probably one of my favorites. If this doesn't really make sense to you, then let me just say New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is the 2D Mario game you'll probably want on the system. I feel like anyone who would want to get Mario Maker 2 instead probably already knows that. Next up, this is kind of an honorable mention before we get into the top 4, but I'll include it on this list anyway just because you can still buy it. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Basically, this is 3 classic Mario games, 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, all packaged into one title. Now, technically Nintendo does not sell this game anymore, but that's also just not true at all. You can buy this on GameStop, Amazon, anywhere where you get video games. You could probably get this game for the exact same price it was being sold at 2 years ago, and it's got 3 of the best games of all time in one package. The only reason it's kind of high up is because if you've never played 3D Mario games, then I wouldn't say these are the best places to jump into the series, and I'm assuming the main people who are going to be watching this video are people who are going to be, just getting a Switch for the first time, in which case I'd say there are 2 more 3D Marios yet to appear on this list that I'd probably recommend higher. But if you already have those 2 games, then 3D All-Stars is probably the game for you. Like, get this game if you've already played those titles. Alright, Super Mario Party wasn't the best, and it was ranked actually really high on this list, and that's because Mario Party Superstars just does everything better in my opinion. The actual gameplay loop is so much more engaging. The online support is just so much better in my opinion. There's better mini games and all that stuff. I'd say Mario Party Superstars is one of the best Mario Parties ever. Unfortunately, it just doesn't really have that many maps, but I haven't found that to be a big issue when I'm just playing with my friends. I don't really mind if I'm playing the Peach's Cake map over and over again. I just want to play with my friends. Next, let's get to it. I mean, these are the 2 3D Mario games I was talking about before. It's impossible for me to choose one over the other, but I did it anyway. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be the 3rd game on this list, and I know there are going to be a lot of people upset about that, but I'm just going to be honest, this is my list. Super Mario Odyssey is an incredible game. I have absolutely nothing bad to say against it. Anyone who tries to tell you it's not a good game is lying, and you should not trust them with any of their opinions at all. The one knock I would have against this game, which isn't even really a knock because it's not like what this game set out to do, is that this game's multiplayer is pretty poor. If you are looking for a 3D Mario and want to play multiplayer, do not get this game. Otherwise, get this game. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury slightly edges out Odyssey for 2 main reasons. 1, variety. Super Mario 3D World is a linear game. Super Mario Bowser's Fury is a non-linear game. You get both of those for the price of 1 game. Granted, Bowser's Fury is pretty quick, but 3D World more than makes up for that in its massive amount of replayability. On top of that, with not just co-op, but online co-op, I'm sorry, it really doesn't get better than this. In my opinion, this is the best Mario game on Switch. It's an incredible title that you should have in your library, but even though I said in my opinion it's the best Mario game on Switch, it's not number 1, and that's just because from an objective standpoint, I cannot deny the value that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gives any and all Switch owners. If there was a friend of mine who got a Nintendo Switch and they said, I only have $60 to my name, I can only buy 1 Switch game forever, what should it be? It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's that 10 times out of 10. This game epitomizes what the Nintendo Switch is. There's a reason they showed it off in their reveal trailer. You put the cartridge in, you take the Joy-Cons out, and instant fun is to be had, not just with you, but with anyone surrounding you. I've spent countless and countless and countless hours playing this game with my friends at college. There's a reason it's my most played game on Switch, and to be honest, the booster pass, while incredibly awesome, doesn't even really factor into this decision at all. That's just the icing on the cake. Even without the booster pass, I hate to say it because I love 3D World personally so much, but I feel like this is by far the best Mario game on Switch. Anyone who says otherwise is probably just saying that because they've already played the game on the Wii U, because yes, this game is technically a port, but it does have a bunch of new content, including obviously the booster pass, a brand new battle mode, and tons of changes to the meta, such as being able to have 2 items. This is the game to get for your money. I mean, it's just that simple. With that out of the way, let me know down in the comments below, did I miss anything? I mean, I don't think I did. But did I get anything wrong? I'm sure that's definitely where all the comments are going to be. Subscribe if you're new, hit the like button if you did enjoy, and hey, you want to see more about Mario Kart? Well, there's a Mario Kart video on the screen right now, click it.